Hello, everyone. What is up? Let me give me some room back here. I want to welcome you to, uh, welcome to the show. This is all for you visionaries out there looking to grow your business with your impactful message and serve the world, because I believe it's time to take a stand for what you believe in, and really fully commit to the brand mission that you feel called to build. I am on a mission to help you clarify and create and communicate your vision for a more happier, more meaningful life, business, and community. And I really believe you can see my shirt, video supply is a way that you can do that. Content supply, video supply, I love the ability to communicate a powerful message with content. So that is what we're going to talk about today, is how to do that, and how to step into that identity of a visionary in order to do that. Because a lot of people do struggle with, I'm speaking to you brand builders out there who have a vision for a better future for people, have a vision for a better way of life for yourself, maybe for your family. And so I want to talk about what that looks like. First off, disclaimer, I am far from perfect from this, but I have found that there's a better ability to identify what you want and then set the steps and plans in motion to get that and to seek that, to go on that journey as the hero of your story, when you can do so with clarity on who you are and that identity. And so speaking to this identity of a hero of your own story, of a visionary, is important. So let's talk about, what does it mean to be a visionary? What is a visionary? If you're listening or watching this, drop some comments down below. What is a visionary to you? Do you identify with this kind of identity? Do you feel that you have a vision for your life, for your business? Because I feel like when you can set that in stone and understand, okay, is it in weeks from now? Is it tomorrow? Is it in years from now? Is it when you are on your deathbed and you're like, hey, I envision myself surrounded by these people. I envision myself having accomplished these things, having served the world, served these types of people in this way. Is that is that something that you can clearly communicate? Know what that looks like for you. What's powerful in a way, if you flip that into your business, right? The people you serve, describe what that future looks like. Is it that you can remove fears and remove limiting beliefs for people, so that way they could be in a place of financial stability, of freedom? Maybe they want to quit their 9-to-5 job and commit to working from home or being available more to their kids. Maybe they want to travel more. Maybe they want to build a business that transcends, is a lot bigger than themselves, right? And have a big team of 10 to 20 to thousands of people. Just getting clear what we want is important, because at the end of the day, we are selfish people, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to be selfish people and then be selfless people the more we serve and help others build the vision they have for their future, as we do so for ourselves. And so when it comes to becoming and being a visionary, guess what? It doesn't matter how successful, I'm putting this in air quotes, by the way, successful you may feel like you are, because a visionary, that identity fits for anyone who wants something more than they have right now, who knows where they want to go and gets clear in that. What is it? For those of you familiar, is Alice in Wonderland, that the Cheshire Cat, who asked Alice what she wants or where she wants to go. I'm going to completely butcher this reference, but she doesn't really know. And he's like, well, how are you going to get there? I believe it's from that reference, but either way, if we don't know where we want to go, then how are we going to get there? And so it's powerful to know what that looks like and to describe it. Think of it like a climactic scene to a movie. One of my favorites in describing this, one of my favorites is Lord of the Rings. And after all of these movies, one of the final scenes take all about 10 minutes, and they're slow and they're methodical. But there's one scene where all the hobbits are just celebrating together, and they're surrounded by the people they love and they've gone on this journey with. And so when you can know what that looks like, both for your life and your business, right? What does that end business look like? Even if it's always evolving and growing, that's important, and it's important to know that wherever you're starting or wherever you are right now, that's a great place to be, because it means that there's always the next step. Another way I like to look at it, and I'm just kind of describing a few options. Someone else comes to mind. Actually, I just finished this book from Matthew McConaughey called Green Lights. It's basically like an autobiography, and it's a really fascinating deep dive into his journey thus far, right, over these 51 years. And one thing he references, and it reminds me of his Oscar-winning speech. He just won an Academy Award, and he's talking about, and it's just this incredible viral speech he does after he wins the Academy Award, and he talks about how he's always chasing his hero, and his hero is not some person who has lived or died in the past. His hero is himself 10 years from now. So he's always chasing that future version of himself. He has that vision for who he wants to be in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next year. And so, and if you think about that, that's wrapped up into an identity for himself. And to me, owning the identity of a visionary means knowing what we want, chasing that person we want to become in the next day, the next year, So start to describe what that looks like for you, because I find when I am not chasing a better version of myself, despite all the mistakes I've made today or in the past, then I'm not living up to my fullest potential. Because believe me, I've made my fair share of mistakes, failures. I don't do things right. But when we can recognize that and know that, hey, today, this moment, or tomorrow is a new day, is a fresh start, then that's a good thing. And when we can look at that as well, literally a fresh start, right? Like when we go down to sleep, I sleep like I'm in a coffin. I got my arms, on my chest, I'm on my back. And it's like we're going down and we arise to a new way of life the next day. And we can achieve a new form of vision for just that day, as grand or as simple as it may be. Most days are very ordinary days, and so if you can appreciate that part of the journey to achieve your vision, then you can look at them, although they may feel ordinary, they can become more extraordinary as well. There's one comment I love seeing coming in. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's Noke, I believe. He says, I love to become a visionary. My mindset right now is that the one who executes plans, so yes, clarity is a must for me, and communicating it accordingly, for sure. Yeah, to me, our vision is only as powerful, our vision only powerful is our ability to communicate. Let me say it again. Our vision is only as powerful as our ability to communicate it. So when we know what we want, when we know what that vision is and can describe it, can write it down, communicate it through content, then it can be achieved and then it can be possible. Even if it sounds so crazy ambitious. And so, yeah, that is a powerful piece to me. And one thing I want to speak to real quick too is I want to break down how I started off this show real quick, and I'm reading it because it's not fully memorized yet. But let me read it again. It says, "It's time, like today, this moment. It's time to take a stand for what you believe. So what do you believe? Um, do you believe that people can have more out of their lives, out of their business, can make more money? Do you believe that everyone is equal, right? You can take a stand for social causes, for religious causes, for business causes, health, wellness, intellectual, so it's time today to take a stand for what you believe and fully commit to the brand mission you're called to build. A lot of people feel like there's a sense of a calling behind what they do. Um, they're called to serve people in a certain way, called to serve the world, and I feel like with claiming and owning an identity, when you can recognize that you truly have been called to build something, to do something, whether you are a coach, maybe you're helping someone improve their marriage, whatever way that you feel that calling, then that exists for you, and you need to build it and take a stand for that. And then I say, we're on a mission to help you clarify that mission, clarify that vision, clarify that message. We're on a mission to help you clarify, create it, and then communicate your vision for a happier, more meaningful life, business, and community. And to me, like that feels a part of my calling. I love the ability to seek clarity, seek better understanding, and in doing that, then we can know what we want. We can know how to seek after it, know how to communicate it with clear language, and go on this journey. Let me slow down. I'm talking a little bit fast because I'm just so excited, and one thing I appreciate in seeking this clarity is an element of silence. There's a book I've recently started. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks and Audible recently. There's a book I recently started called, in fact, I don't even remember the calling, but let me pull it up. It's a book about Fred Rogers' life, Mr. Rogers from, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I think, it's called The Good Neighbor. So it's basically the life and work and influence of Fred Rogers. I did grow up watching some of his show. Was it live at the time, or maybe it was on PBS as a rebroadcast? The show's not for everyone. I'll just say that. For those who are familiar with who Fred Rogers is, he's a very methodical, slow-speaking guy, and he has a unique and genius ability to connect well with children, which is who his show was for. He had a mix of music, of interaction with guests, with puppets, but he didn't so in a way that he didn't talk down to kids. He talked to them as equals. He talked to his guests as equals. And how the book starts was really impactful to me because it really set in stone what he took a stand for and what he believed in and what his vision was for a more happier, more meaningful world and community, and even business. And he said, basically the 3 rules to success in life are be kind. Second rule is be kind. And third rule, be kind. And when kindness exists, then everything else can fit into place. Whether you are kind to yourself first, you are kind to your partner, your spouse, your family, your kids, and then kind to your coworkers, your employees, those you serve, your clients, your customers. That makes for a more vision-based life. And so that was really impactful to me, and I've just been really inspired by visionaries like what Fred Rogers had, or you can use examples from many other celebrity and famous people. But guess what? It's not just them who have a vision. It's you who feel like, you may know what you want. You may know that you're on that journey to achieve it, but you don't really feel seen and known yet. You don't feel like you're as famous as Fred Rogers or these other people, and that's okay. I think a lot of us in our business journey feel a sense of being unseen and unheard, a little bit of this invisibility that is in place. We feel a little bit invisible, and so I want to invite you to this opportunity that we're putting together, and what it is this documentary series. I'm calling it Visionaries: From Invisible to Unforgettable. And what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a series of shifts and new ways of thinking that help you go on this journey to achieve what you want out of your business. And in order to do that, it does come down to that clarity, that creation, and that communication of your unique message, of that vision you have for your brand. And that is best done with content, especially video. So this documentary series is going to be released in late April. You can learn more about it. You can go to videosupply.com/series to learn more about that series. And so very excited to share it. Been definitely in the works for a while now. And yeah, so go check that out. If you have any further thoughts around what it looks like to you to really establish your vision and to be a visionary, let me know in the comments down below. Another thing that really resonates with me, and another quick piece I want to hit on too, is this ability to focus in on your identity. So to do that, it's recognizing that there are two essential moments, most important moments in every person's life. The first moment is the moment that they're born, and then the second moment is the moment that they discover why they were born. And the reason why that resonates with me so much is that when you're born, you are put into this place of beginning to discover your identity, who you are. You can't speak yet. Your communication is limited, and you are associating who you are in this world, how your body functions, right? Your hands, and so you've got movements going around. You're getting a sense for belonging, of who's there with you, your mother, your father, your family. And as you grow up, you begin to develop your language. You begin to develop and clarify how you communicate what you want in simple ways. I think of my 4-year-old, where on his journey from just learning to speak, and he's still learning. I think we're all still learning our language, our native language. He simply communicates what he wants and what he doesn't want, and he cries when either version fails in his mind. And so there's this process, this journey that you go on of trying to get what you want, that process of being born. But as you discover the reason why you were born, to me, that speaks to this identity of knowing what you're called to do, knowing how you're meant to show up in the world. And so taking ownership over this identity and recognizing that you are of value because you were born, and that you have people who love and appreciate you. And that includes being in your business, where whether it's the clients you serve and you help them get results, right? They can love and appreciate you and trust you because you're helping them be successful in their own way, no matter your product or service. But then recognizing that if you don't know what you're called to do yet, keep going on that journey, and begin with the end in mind. Begin, hey, what is that end scene? Like, what is it that I want? Like, what does my successful business look like? Am I in this big office space? Am I working virtually? Am I working with a certain company in this certain industry? Am I doing these activities of creation every day, or of giving back? Whatever that may look like, is getting clear on that. And that's one thing I'm constantly trying to revisit, because I think when I get in this place of complacency, of feeling like, hey, I've got a handful of things figured out, then I get really uncomfortable. And oftentimes I'm looking for a change in my life, in my business, in my career, that actually set me on that journey of, I used to work for this massive travel company, had an incredible experience there. After a series of promotions and raises, I was like, I'm kind of capped off with this current corporate ladder climb. I'm looking for a change. And so I feel like there was something more I needed to do. And that's why I started building Content Supply as a business. And that's where this idea of Video Supply was born out of. And so, yeah, I think there's this really sense of achievement and ambition that we can match with the decisions we make, as long as they're aligned to what we ultimately want. Even if we're constantly chasing some version of that, the achievement may not happen for years down the road, and that's okay. Or if we do achieve, that moment, what we wanted out of it, or we feel complacent, then set a new version of that vision as well. And so let's talk a little bit more. I do want to hit a little bit more on this idea of using video to really clarify, create, and communicate your vision for a more happier, more meaningful world. So what that looks like comes in another 3-step form, and that is planning, production, and promotion. And you can learn more about, you can go to videosupply.com/process to learn a little bit more about this. When we can put a plan in place, and this plan relates to any form of business you're in, whether you are planning your next product launch, planning your next, product launch is a big part of it. Next product launch, your next brand idea, whatever it may be, you put a plan in place that you need to execute. And then there's the production of that plan. But that plan exists around a few things. First off, within that plan, you need to know that, hey, do I have a clear message to know how to talk about what I do? Do I have a powerful marketing plan, a way to generate more traffic, so get more eyeballs on my business, capture more leads and get more sales? And then do I have a form of content to communicate that information to people? And so you plan that information, put it into a production process, and then the creation process, and then you go and promote it. And to me, why that is so powerful with being a visionary is because your ability to communicate, again, your vision makes it possible. You're accountable to people when you communicate your vision. You're accountable to yourself. You're accountable to your employees, the people you serve, and that just helps you achieve what you want, your dream business, your vision, even sooner. So those are some thoughts I wanted to share today. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this sharing and these thoughts to show you more of what we're working on here at Video Supply, and offering you this opportunity to take part in our documentary series. I want you to be part of it, to join the premiere party, and to get this benefit that exists when you can take ownership over this identity of being a visionary and in seeking the future that you want for your business and your life. And I believe that is possible in taking that stand. And we'll develop out these ideas further with more of these episodes and show here that we're doing on these channels. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. Again, if you're interested in exploring more about this identity of being a visionary and going from an invisible to unforgettable, then you can go to videosupply.com/series to learn more and to be the first notified of when this documentary series becomes available for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.